Opportunity to come here as an analyst
Yeah.
after DK got the corners job. How helpful was that last year of development for you?
Well, whether I have been coaching DBs for 13, 14 years in the Big Ten, and so what I did learn is there's different ways to do different things. And so he was really great this past year, just bouncing different ideas, different drills. I've learned several new things that I'm going to implement this next year, and then I'll go back to some of the things that I coached in the past. But to be around somebody who is, it takes one to help one. I mean, that's what our motto is, and just we're bringing in another analyst, and the same thing. We've all been coaching at this level, and we want to get different ideas. And the best way is how do we get our guys to play fast and learn. So if there's a better way that Coach McDonald has done it, then I'm definitely going to take it. If there's one, we got Coach Burkett, who's an analyst who just got here a couple weeks ago. If there's a way he's done it at Tulsa or South Florida, then we'll take those ideas and see what the best way is to make sure that our players can be at their best on Saturday afternoon.
Is there one thing, you've mentioned things you've learned, is there one thing that stands out? Or maybe just one you would point to?
The thing that I've always loved about Coach McDonald is him making things simple. You know what I mean? And some of the drills that he does that I definitely will implement is different ways of teaching different key terms, because the technique's a technique. Man to man is man to man, and for the most part, every coach kind of does the same thing. But what you try to do is you try to learn different key terms or phrases that can help the guys learn a lot easier. So in that aspect, there's just a lot of different things that maybe we can implement that I think that we spoke a year ago with some of those guys that I think they can carry on as we move forward.
Is there one phrase?
Maybe? I think that the main thing is just, hand placement, and it's always been the same, but just where our eyes are and stuff like that. It's nothing really that is really just like, coming up with, a new scheme or anything. It's just, little terms I think that guys can catch on to that we'll use as we move forward.
We've heard the word simple a couple times used to describe Coach McDonald. Coach Leipold just said it over there. How useful is it to have simplicity when you got a new coordinator, so many new players coming in?
Well, a gentleman asked me earlier today, the big change is the portal, because you have guys that come in and, you get a guy here in early summer that has to be ready to play by August. And so the defense has to be simple where they can learn it, right? And they can go out there and implement it at a high level. Back in the old days, you would come as a freshman, you were a red shirt, and then there was a process. Well, with the portal, you got to take what you get, which is typically a new team almost every year, right? And you got to get those guys to learn your process, learn your plays, and it has to be simple, because if you cloud your mind with too many things, you're not playing as fast as you need to play. So as coaches, that was our job coming this offseason, to make this thing as simple as we possibly can make it, based on the new rules of the portal and the guys who are kind of flushed in and out every year.
And you talked about bringing in another new analyst in Coach Burkett. As someone who's been in the business a while, how useful is it to have the analysts now able to help out on the field much more than they were?
Oh, it's a game changer, because ultimately at the end of the day, you get guys who are all kind of going in the same direction. He knows how to coach. He knows how to relate to young men and get these guys to play at a high level, where I can go and I can concentrate on something else, knowing that the other set of DBs are in good hands. We're all saying the same thing. We're all teaching the same points, and we're all in things together. So that's a game changer. It's kind of going to like that NFL model where, you have a DB coach, an assistant DB coach, and really at the end of the day, he's a coach. That's all kind of formality in terms, but we're going to need him to do a great job and help with the corners and safeties when I'm pulled somewhere else.
So the season ends at the end of November. Where's your head at? Because at that point, you're still an analyst.
Well, the crazy thing about it is my wife is a professor here, and so, she does a great job teaching the communication department. And so, first they talk about your family. How can you keep your family intact? And so my prayer was to stay here. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you got to go where you need it and where you want it. And thank God it was here. But it happened fast. Coach Borland kind of said he was kind of retiring. And the next thing I know, within 24, 48 hours, Coach Leipold was talking to me. So it really happened fast, and you got to hit the road recruiting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it was really a great transition. I think, based on who I am and the things I believe in, and this is a staff that fits me.
I know you essentially were almost going to go somewhere else before you came here as an analyst.
Yeah.
Did you ever come that close here? like after this season ended?
No, because it happened pretty quickly. I mean, of course, you got to put filters out there, but the season hadn't ended yet. People still had playoffs to go and all that stuff, and a head coach hadn't been assigned, and so there was kind of a window in there when I got this opportunity here where it was really kind of just dead. You know what I mean? But you knew in the upcoming weeks things were going to take off. So it really happened ultimately in a great way. Where, like I said, there was not a lot of herking jerking, when it comes to moving the family and stuff like that. We were able to kind of be settled in, and kids to be able to stay in the same school, and so it worked out well.
Thank you.